brewed by the first of the great Milwaukee brewers. And by Shell Oil Company, who also brings you Super Shell gasoline for good mileage. And by Sherwin-Williams Kim Glow Enamel. It looks and washes like baked enamel.
This is Madison Square Garden in New York City, scene of the 30th Annual National Invitation Basketball Tournament, where this afternoon a capacity crowd is on hand to see two of the nation's fine Midwestern basketball teams, the Southern Illinois University Salukis and the Marquette University Warriors, meeting today in this championship game. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tom Kelly, and with me is Frank Gifford. And this afternoon in this championship, with the capacity crowd on hand here at the Garden, we have two of the nation's very fine basketball teams. Frank Gifford is not only a sports announcer, he's a prognosticator, because it was fully a week and a half ago, Frank, that you picked Southern Illinois to be playing for the championship, and you picked him to win it. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Tom. It wasn't really any genius on my part. It was just checking the record. Southern Illinois at that time was 20-2. They, of course, now are 20-3. They won 3 to get into this final here today against Marquette. But more than that, they've come on very strong, as you know, Tom, over the season. They won their last 15 straight coming into the NIT, so they won their last 18 games. A strong team. They're a gambling team. They are a rough team under the boards, and they have some great personnel.
They do indeed, and while we're speaking of it, our viewers are looking at him. This is Walt Frazier. Frazier is a guard, but shows amazing versatility with the ball. That shot comes out of the corner, and watch Frazier. He's number 53 from his guard spot on our stop action, in there with the big boys to get the rebound. Now watch him as he fakes. Beautiful move. He's strong underneath and lays the ball back up. Frazier is just 6'3", but he's an outstanding basketball player. Handles the ball well. He's an outstanding shooter. He has 67 points coming into this game today, and of course he's very strong into the boards. If Marquette has a chance to win this ball game this afternoon, Walt Frazier is the man they're going to have to stop.
They're going to have to stop him in more ways than one, Tom. They're going to have to box him out, to driving in from that guard spot. He leads all the players in the finals today with rebounds, which is kind of amazing, a backcourt man leading in rebounds. He has 41, but Marquette is not without a little ammunition of their own.
Let's take a look at the Marquette Warriors, coached by Al McGuire. This is a Midwestern ball club with a great New York look. Did you see Thompson? He was number 24, passing to the guard, Burke, as he broke down the middle. Marquette features the New York style of play, Frank, the give and the go. And Al McGuire, of course, was a great collegiate star with his brother over at St. John's. And quite frankly, that's the way Al McGuire likes to play the game. These are two very fine teams, Frank Gifford. They're both poised, well coached, they're disciplined. It's going to be an outstanding basketball game. And we'll be back with the start of today's NIT championship game between Southern Illinois and Marquette University in just a moment. You're looking at the floor of Madison Square Garden as we're about set to go with the introductions of these players. Southern Illinois University will be the home team this afternoon. You're looking at the Salukis. They're dressed in white with red trim on their uniforms. And Marquette University, coached by Al McGuire, will be in their road playing blue and gold. This is Dick Garrett, number 22. Garrett is a forward, 6'3", and a sophomore. This is Clarence Smith, number 30, a senior, 6'4", a forward. Ralph Johnson plays the center spot for Jack Hartman. He's 6'7" and a senior. This is Walt Frazier. This is some basketball player, ladies and gentlemen. And the other starting guard is a senior, Ed Zastro, number 32. Here's the balance of the squad. Craig Taylor is a 6'1" sophomore. Preston Whitaker is a 6'2" sophomore. Roger Bechtold, who'll see some action. He's the number 1 substitute, a senior, 6'2". Willie Griffin will play today. He's number 20, 6'3", a sophomore. Jay Westcott is a senior at 6'4". And Chuck Benson is 6'4", and he is wearing number 50, and Jack Hartman is the coach of the Salukis. They're the nation's number 1 rated small college team, and they want to win the tournament. And now, Al McGuire's Marquette Warriors. This is George Thompson. The applause is almost deafening for Thompson, who's a sophomore at 6'2" and a New York boy. Brian Bronkhorst is a junior at 6'6", number 40. Center is Pat Smith, a 6'3" senior. He'll be wearing number 11. This is Jimmy Burke, a sophomore at 6 feet, number 14. And Bobby Wolf, the captain of the Marquette Warriors, is a 6'2" senior, and he'll be wearing number 15. Now the balance of the squad. This is Jim Bailey, a sophomore. Blanton Simmons is a 6'5" junior. Dan Anderson is a 6'5" reserve forward. Number 30 is Mike Curran. Brad Lupini, reserve guard, and he'll see action. Jim Gooden. And number 54 is Jim Langenkamp, who is a 6'5" sophomore. And here's the applause for Al McGuire. You know, we asked Coach Al McGuire what his instructions to his Warriors would be during these final moments, and this is what Coach McGuire said.
Right now, I want to impress upon my ball club the work of the whole season, the dedication and the supreme effort of getting to the final of the National Invitation Tournament. That this is a shot that comes along once in a lifetime, and try to get that first tap and to get out of the gate fast, and not to panic and to play the regular game and to forget about the crowd.
All right, the two teams come together at center court. The officials are Lou Eisenstein and Steve Hanzo. And the veteran Lou Eisenstein will be putting the ball in the air. We had a brilliant consolation game here with Rutgers beating Marshall 93-76, and Bob Lloyd, Rutgers All-American, scored 44 points for a new NIT 4-game record of 129. More of that in a moment. It's Smith jumping against Smith. The rebound the tip is taken by Thompson in the corner to Wolf, to Thompson, back out on top to Burke. Marquette in the blue and gold uniforms. That's Pat Smith on the high post, and back out on top to Bob Wolf. The Salukis will be in a man-to-man defense. We expect that both teams will, as this contest gets underway. Should either ball club get in trouble early, they have a tendency, both of them, to go to the zone, and variations of it. That's Brunkhorst in the corner. He's guarded closely by Fraser, and we're going to have a jump ball.
Tom, we might point out early that Fraser is operating with a very bad toe. He injured in the semifinals.
There's the tip, and it's over and grabbed by Zastro. So the Salukis have the ball for the first time this afternoon. We're a half minute into this championship game, and there is no score. Fraser underneath. Beautiful move by Fisher, by Smith. 2 points. 2-0. Salukis lead as Clarence Smith broke out of the corner spot, and that's a favorite move of his, and swept across the middle. Took the good pass from Fraser. Bobby Wolf. Rebound to Brunkhorst. Stolen away at the baseline by Zastro. And this is Dick Garrett in the backcourt. Garrett had 68 points in 3 games coming into this contest. Outstanding shooter. Johnson sets the high post and flips it back. Garrett's shot is short, but we've got a foul called against Brunkhorst. That's the first of the game. And it'll be Garrett to the free throw line for Southern Illinois. As you were mentioning, Frank, George Thompson, number 24 in the Marquette dark uniforms, has been injured. He has a very, very sore big toe, and he's playing hurt, which is the mark of a great basketball player. 3-0. Salukis lead. Garrett fouled in the act of shooting by Brunkhorst. 4-0. Southern Illinois. Marquette comes on the attack. Bobby Wolf, team captain for the Warriors, to Brunkhorst. Very fine shooting forward. One of the unsung heroes, I might add, of this Marquette club. This is Jimmy Burke. Very good guard to Wolf. Brunkhorst again is number 40. We'll keep repeating these names and numbers to set them for you as you watch this color telecast this afternoon. That's Burke. Check that Saluki defense. They're still in a man-for-man. Bad pass. Turnover. All right. Garrett has it in the backcourt for Southern Illinois. He flips to Zastro. This little left-hander handles the ball well. Now, this is Walt Fraser. He loves the one-on-one situation, but he can hit the open man, and he did then. Battle for the rebound underneath Johnson. Garrett. Rebound is off. Marquette has it. Bob Wolf. This is George Thompson. This is the biggest 6'1" forward you'll ever see. I don't mean he's much taller than that. I just mean he plays big. He's number 24 in the dark uniform. Keep your eye on him. Marquette must get a great game from Thompson to win this. Good drive by Burke. Look at that Smith. Battle for the rebound, traveling. I think you've heard the expression, it's the only game in town. Well, this one certainly is today. 18,499 people here at the Garden, its capacity. In fact, it's the second largest crowd the Garden has had in this 30 years of the NIT. Over 108,000 people have seen these clubs battle their way down to where we've come to Marquette University in Southern Illinois. High post set by Pat Smith. Screens and gives to Brunkhorst. 4-2. There's a bad pass. Beautiful save by Fraser. He came from nowhere. Out of bounds. For a moment, Frank Gifford, I thought you were going to have to field that one, and Fraser, like a streak, took it right out of our hands. Garrett brings it back out on top, and with the ball is Ed Zastro. Southern Illinois is a very methodical, very cool, poised, well-disciplined ball club, as is Marquette. There's Smith again, breaking across. He loves that move. Rebound went to Smith, up Marquette. To Burke. Baseline to Wolf. Back out to Brunkhorst. All right, Thompson with it. Back out on top to Burke. Notice how both ball clubs are content to let the defense set up. They're methodical. Screen, long one-hander. In and out. Rebound to Burke. Whistle. Check the action in the corner. Ball tapped away by Fraser. It's out of bounds to Marquette. .16:11 time remaining. Score, Southern Illinois 4, Marquette 2. Now let's return to the studio for this message. Scoreboard, Southern Illinois 4, Marquette University 2. We're in the opening 4 minutes of this championship game. The Salukis out on top by the margin of a field goal, and Marquette will inbound the ball. Putting it in for the Warriors is Burke. Flips it to Brunkhorst, good outside shot. Battle for the rebound. Brunkhorst loses it. It's going to go to Marquette. They said that Garrett touched it last. Marquette University in the dark uniforms. If you're watching us in color, and we hope you are, the Hilltoppers or the Warriors are dressed in blue and gold, their school colors. High post set up by Pat Smith, and he gives to Burke, who drives, then flips it back. Brunkhorst one-on-one against Fraser. Underneath, inbound pass to Thompson, and he's fouled by Clarence Smith. That's the second foul of the ball game. Each team has one, and this is George Thompson at the free throw line. Thompson is one of 3 New York boys. He was an outstanding performer at Erasmus here in the city. And he has his first point of the afternoon. 4-3. Southern Illinois leads by 1. Zone press put on by Marquette. We'll see what the Salukis can do with it. They master that. Smith in the corner to Johnson. Had Fraser breaking, but didn't feed him the ball. Fraser playing in a high post. Fraser's a great individual performer as well as a fine team man. That's Garrett. He can shoot. 6-3. Southern Illinois leads. Garrett has 4 points. And Burke of Marquette brings the ball over the 10-second line. Bob Wolf driving, and Garrett cuts him off at the pass. Jack Hartman, the Southern Illinois coach, you know, played for Mr. Henry Iba at Oklahoma A&M. 23 years ago, he played in this tournament. They lost in the semifinals. Well, Jack is back now with the nation's #1 rated small college team. How about Thompson? George Thompson just banked that baby in beautifully with a fine turnaround jumper. 6-5. Southern Illinois leads by 1. Beautiful pass underneath, and Thompson is there. Up the floor to Wolf. The Salukis chase him in the corner and trap him there, and he puts it back out on top, and now gets it back. 6-5. George Thompson with the ball. Wolf. Pat Smith sets the high post, then back out Thompson's long jumper. Smith rebounds. Johnson is there. What have we got? A foul on Garrett. Second foul against Southern Illinois. The first foul of the ball game against Garrett. And at the line to shoot a pair will be Pat Smith. He's a 6'3" senior, and he is also a New York area boy, as is Jimmy Burke and George Thompson on this Marquette club. Tied up, 6-6. And Pat Smith again. Marquette leads for the first time this afternoon, 7-6. Marquette leading, 14 minutes remaining in the first half. Fraser double teamed. Flips it to Clarence Smith. Back out to Walt Fraser, to Zastro. Garrett. Zastro. Fraser's long jumper. Rebound to Smith. Feeds to Fraser. Baseline. Thompson. Swing around. Rebound underneath. Fraser misses it. Rebound is off. Thompson high in the air. Foul on Smith. Foul committed by number 30, Clarence Smith. 7-6, Marquette leads. While we go to the other end of the court, CBS Television, Frank, always an acknowledged leader in sports broadcasting, has got the world's most popular sport, soccer, coming to American TV audiences starting April 16th and every Sunday through the 3rd of September. A national professional soccer league game to be televised live and in color. Another great sports stop for CBS. Well, the Warriors missing with Thompson. Tried to tip it, couldn't. Salukis have it. Fraser, 18-footer. And the whistle, and he gets the basket. Foul is called on Bobby Wolf. Score, Southern Illinois 8, Marquette 7. We'll be back with more NIT action in just a moment. Eight to 7, the scoreboard shows Southern Illinois leading. We've got 13:28 to play in this, the first half. And Walt Fraser, the Salukis All-America candidate, at the free throw line with a chance for a three-point effort. Fraser has hit 1 out of 3 from the field. This is his first free throw effort of the afternoon. That gives him his third point, and it's 9-7. Salukis lead. Marquette has the ball. Jim Burke. Brunkhorst. Still in a man-to-man defense. Pass into Thompson. Back out to Burke. Sets. Rebound Fraser. Big fella can do everything. And he's really not that big. He's 6'3". But he handles the ball with care. There's a favorite move of his to one-on-one. Flipping over on the side to Johnson. Jumper by Clarence Smith. Rolls off. Rebound Brunkhorst. Over to Bob Wolf. The Marquette captain quickly into the front court. Wolf, number 15 for Marquette. Back out to Jim Burke, number 14. Al McGuire's got 2 very good guards. This is George Thompson. Brunkhorst driving to the baseline. Let's see how they call it. Out of bounds. It's going to go to Marquette. They say that tipped away by the Salukis. Number 50 coming into the ball game. Chuck Benson, number 50, is in the contest for Southern Illinois. He's come on to replace Clarence Smith. Oh, Bobby Wolf. Lovely jumper. 9-9. This game is all tied up. Bobby Wolf, Marquette team captain, gets his first 2 points of the afternoon. Eddie Zastro flips it over to Benson. Back out on top to Fraser. To Garrett around his man. Jumper. Banked off the board. Out of bounds. Southern Illinois. Steve Hanzo and Lou Eisenstein are working this game, and the officiating has been just superb in the tournament. The men in the striped shirts doing an outstanding job, and they've been in complete control throughout the entire tournament. And, boy, they've had some great ball games to work. Zastro trying to work against that tenacious man-for-man defense. Look at Wolf with the steal. He's in heavy going, but he's got it to the free throw line, flipped to Burke. Now the Warriors will set it up. Wolf. Back out on top to Burke. Coach Al McGuire was telling me yesterday that he doesn't like to do things one way all the time. Likes the fast break, but he doesn't want anybody to think that they are just a fast break club. Says you've got to give him something to worry about. The last of the two-hand set shots. Jimmy Burke. 11-9, and Marquette has gone in front now by 2. 10 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in this, the first half. Marquette leading by 2. Fraser, top of the key. Rebound, Johnson. Back to Fraser. Baseline, Garrett. Traveling, I believe. It is out of bounds to Marquette. (11-9), Hilltoppers lead, and there's Al McGuire. New York's Al McGuire. I mentioned that Burke, number 14, was the last of the two-hand set shots. I tell you, his coach could put him in. I asked Al yesterday if he goes out and shows this youngster, Burke, who's got the ball, how to do it. He said, no. He said he'd beat me for every malted milk I'd want to bet him. There's 2. Foul is called. Bob Wolf gets his 4th point. Foul is on Garrett. The score. Marquette 13, Southern Illinois 9. And we'll be back with more NIT action in just a moment. Scoreboard, Marquette 13, Southern Illinois 9. 10:22 remaining in the first half. Warriors are out on top by 4. And Bob Wolf, who just canned that long jumper, has an opportunity to pick up an additional point at the free throw line. Wolf has 4. The Marquette captain is from Menominee Falls. He's a homegrown product back there in the great state of Wisconsin. He can play the game. 14-9. 5-point lead for Marquette. They've got the press on against Southern Illinois. We'll see how the Salukis handle it. This is Ed Zastro against Wolf in the backcourt. Right with him, official Steve Hanzo. Garrett. Benson faked, gave to Fraser. Zastro's left-hand push. Just a shade strong. Fraser rebounds. Turnaround 10-footer. It's in. 5 for Fraser. 14-11. Marquette leading by 3. And the Warriors have the ball. Jim Burke. The style of these 2 teams, very similar. Tip by Smith. Rebound. We've got a jump ball. Pat Smith. And Ralph Johnson. And temper's just a little bit short. But I think it's understandable. The boys shake hands. Everything is all right. They're playing for the big prize, you know. Means an awful lot. Things can get very emotional. Fraser comes up with it. But they're going to call a foul on Burke. He had his arm hooked and not the ball. Fraser and Burke talking it over as they come back up the floor. Foul on Burke is his first. And only the 3rd team foul against Marquette. The Salukis have been assessed 4. And we've played 10.5 minutes. Fraser has 5 points. Walt is just a junior, eligibility-wise, but he's a redshirt. 14-12. Marquette leads by a pair. And 18,000 fans, and I must say they're partisan after all. One of their own, Al McGuire, has brought his ball club to the finals, and they're here to cheer him on. That's Thompson in heavy going, poked away. Benson cannot save it. Thompson, I think Frank Gifford is going to feel like a man caught in the rush hour traffic this afternoon. I'm sure he's going to be surrounded whenever that ball goes into him.
He's a big one. He's in there battling all the way, Tom. It's amazing how he can get up at 6'2".
That's Jimmy Burke. 16-12. 4-point lead for Marquette once again. 9 minutes to play. We're in the first half. Chuck Benson. Baseline to Johnson. Benson of Southern Illinois tried to move his way in, traveling. And Marquette brings it up the floor right past Jack Hartman. Jack Hartman, the coach of Southern Illinois. This is the third straight year that Jack has taken his team to a major championship. He's missed out the first 2 times. He'd love to get this one. Thompson back to the basket. Good pass underneath. Scramble for the ball. It's out of bounds. Marquette. I think the beauty of this Thompson, who's only a sophomore, and Fraser, his counterpart, for Southern Illinois, is their unselfishness. They'll pass up the shot, look for the open man. Thompson boxed in and baseline left, brings it back out to Brunkhorst, to Burke. Bobby Wolf's long jumper. 18-12. Marquette leads Southern Illinois. 8 minutes to play in the first half. Bob Wolf has 7 points. Look at that Burke play defense on Fraser. He has a difficult assignment. You've got to play him head-to-head, nose-to-nose, and play him hard. And look at him. He's not even looking at the ball. He is right with Walt Fraser. Face-to-face. Side-by-side. Turnaround by Benson. Rebound, Brunkhorst. Marquette has done a very good job on the defensive boards. They must do that. Southern Illinois is a very fine basketball team. Thompson. Rebound, Johnson. Going to be a foul on Pat Smith of Marquette. His first.
Foul charge to number 11, Pat Smith of Marquette.
Al McGuire looks just about as young and handsome as he did when he was a great star at St. John's. He looks a little more worried than he did when he played for Frank McGuire, but that's understandable. This is Ralph Johnson of Southern Illinois, a 6'7" senior. Fraser. Beautiful move underneath. Did he get the basket? No. They'll call another on Smith. Pat Smith has picked up 2 fouls in about 2 seconds. But I think you'll agree that the great move by Fraser.
Fraser the line.
Pat Smith hung out to dry.
Marquette leads 18-13.
Score is 18-13. Marquette leads by 5. Their biggest margin was 6. Southern Illinois, noted as a second-half basketball team. And frankly, that's where you win the game in the second half. Good move by... Oh, Thompson with a very good move. He'll go to the free throw line. Foul is on Benson.
Saluki foul charge to Chuck Benson.
That's the 5th team foul against
Jordan Thompson.
Southern Illinois.
2 shots.
And we've got a change in the Saluki lineup as number 14. That's Bechtold. Is coming into the ball game to replace Ed Zastro. There he is there. Bechtold is a 6'2" senior. The number 1 replacement for Jack Hartman. Thompson at the line. George didn't like that a bit. Thompson misses a pair, and the Salukis have the ball down by 5 at 18-13. Fraser, free throw line jumper. Beautiful, just beautiful. Foul is going to be called on Bob Wolf, and that is his second. Frank?
He was fouled on the play by Bob Wolf.
I was just admiring the good, strong work on the part of Burke
1 shot for
against
Walt
Fraser. He's been doing a beautiful job. And yet Walt Fraser showing his All-American class, hitting on that, picking up the extra.
Rebound to Benson. Oh, that's a big basket. That's a big basket. 18-17. So Benson gets the tip in, and the Salukis are right back in this contest with 6.5 minutes to go, and Marquette has the ball. We're in the first half of play. This is the championship. Bob Wolf. That's sweet. That's sweet. 20-17. 20-17, Marquette pulls in front by 3. Biggest lead the Warriors had was 6. Benson against the zone press. Traveling, carried it over. It's those turnovers that really just tear a coach's heart out. So many times it's a 4-point play. You don't get a chance to make 2, and you give the other team a chance to make 2. They just break your heart. Wolf to Burke. Brunkhorst underneath to Smith, baseline. Very nice.
Marquette field goal by Ted Smith.
22-17. Marquette leads. Jack Hartman up talking to his ball club, and in particular to Ralph Johnson, his center. Play the big D out there. Dick Garrett. Oh. Rebound, Johnson. Tried to put it up. Out of bounds. It'll go to Marquette. 5:30 remaining to play in the first half. The score, Marquette 22, Southern Illinois 17. We'll be back with more NIT action in just a moment. Five and a half minutes to play in the first half. Marquette has been shooting very well from the field. They've hit 9 of 18 for 50% unofficially. Salukis, on the other hand, 6 of 20 for 30%. Incidentally, a Saluki, and that's what Southern Illinois University has as a nickname and a mascot, is an Egyptian hunting dog. All right, Marquette University in the blue and gold of the Warriors from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Bob Wolf, their team captain. Back out on top to Brunkhorst, to Burke. Still a man-for-man defense, played by Southern Illinois. Clarence Smith, number 30, a starter, has come back in for the Salukis. He's in the white uniform, replacing Johnson, and he intercepts the pass. Good defense. Oh, and the ball poked away from Bechtold. And the Warriors have it again. Burke driving. Beautiful driving two-pointer.
Marquette field goal by Tim Burke.
24-17. Marquette by 7. The biggest lead for Marquette. This is Clarence Smith in the corner to Fraser. Under baseline right side, Smith fakes. Thompson guarding it. Back out on top to Bechtold. And over to Fraser again, guarded by Burke. Fraser's got 9 points, but Burke has done a great job on him. Brunkhorst rebounding for Marquette. Burke driving. Brunkhorst poked away by Fraser. Scramble. Whistle. Be a foul on Fraser, I believe. It will be. Very good call. And Walt took it very graciously. No display of emotion or anything else.
Tom, what Burke is doing at Frazier, he's never taking his eyes right off him. This is bothering Frazier in more ways than one. It prevents that drive for the rebound, which Frazier is so good at.
Timeout. Marquette 24, Southern Illinois 17. We'll be back with more NIT action in just a moment. Scoreboard shows Marquette leading Southern Illinois 24-17. We have 4 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Championship game of the NIT from the Garden in New York City. Tom Kelly along with Frank Gifford. And at the free throw line is Brian Brunkhorst, a 6'6 junior. He has 2 points already. That's his third. And it's 25-17, an 8-point margin for Marquette and their biggest. The press is on against the Salukis. Into Clarence Smith, back to Bechtold, to Garrett, in the corner to Benson, back out to Garrett. Salukis are in the home white uniforms. Marquette in their traveling blue and gold. There's Walt Frazier. 11 points for Frazier. 25-19 Marquette. You know, there's been some outstanding individual basketball players in this tournament. Jimmy Walker, a week ago we saw him. Mel Daniels from New Mexico. Bobby Lloyd of Rutgers, who earlier in the consolation game put in 44 points for a new tournament 4-game scoring record. Youngster Bob Wolf out here, and George Thompson from Marquette, and of course Walt Frazier from Southern Illinois. Good pass underneath for Thompson. 27-19. Another 8-point margin for Marquette. 3:26 to play. Salukis with the ball. Garrett, very fine outside shooter. He's just a sophomore. Bechtold, a jump shot going across. 27-21. 6-point lead for Marquette. That's Bechtold's first bucket. Came on as reserve. Marquette beat Marshall in the semis to advance to this championship game. Southern Illinois beat Rutgers. Long jumper by Wolf. He has 11. 29-21. Marquette again with an 8-point lead. That's been their biggest. 2:35 to play. They went in front at 7-6. Went in front to stay in this first half at 11-9. Garrett. Frazier. Good pass underneath. Smith fakes. Some days they just won't fall, Clarence. Very good move by the senior from Southern Illinois. Jimmy Burke, ball control there. He made the pass in the corner. Or Thompson. Thompson wasn't there. Al McGuire says, slow it down just a shade. All right, Bechtold is out, and Ed Zastro, starting guard, he's number 32, is in. And he has the ball now. Salukis into the front court to Frazier. Left side to Garrett. Long jumper. Rebound underneath. Smith tries to put it up. Whistle. We've got a foul on Smith. Pat Smith of Marquette. It'll be a 2-shot effort coming for Clarence Smith. And that, incidentally, is the 7th team foul against Marquette. 1:52 to play in the first half. The bonus will be in effect from here on out. Pat Smith comes out. Danny Anderson comes in. He's a 6'5" youngster. Strong kid. Comes from Superior, Wisconsin. Ralph Johnson, starting center for Southern Illinois, comes in, and Chuck Benson goes out.
That's Clarence Smith at the line. 2 shots.
Clarence Smith, who has 2 points, at the line to shoot a pair. 29-21. Marquette leads. Seven-point lead for Marquette now, and Smith tries to cut that. And does.
Marquette leads
29-23. Now Zastro puts on some individual pressure. But the Warriors, Jim Burke brings it into the front court. Thompson. Bronkhorst. Both coaches have stayed with this man-to-man defense. That's Walt Frazier guarding Bronkhorst. And Anderson playing center, so that's a very high post. They like to give and go, this Marquette club. They get a good deal of action away from the ball, which is a credit to Al McGuire's teaching, because it's difficult to get ball players to play without the ball. Even the truly great ones have to make an effort to do it. Marquette may be holding it for one last shot. 58 seconds to go in the half. They lead 29-23. Bronkhorst. They break across the weave, and he passes up the Opportunity to pass it in. Frazier trying to pick it away. 41 seconds. Jim Burke. There's underneath to Thompson. Shoots. He's got it. Foul. Half a minute to play. 31-23. Marquette is leading by 8. We'll check. The foul is on Johnson of Southern Illinois. That's his first. It's academic, but that's the 7th team foul against Southern Illinois. Thompson, of course, having made the bucket, gets 1. He has 7 points so far. He's just a sophomore. 32-23. 9-point advantage, the biggest of the afternoon for Marquette. And we're less than a half a minute away from the intermission. Zastro. Frazier, Zastro. Garrett's long jumper is going to be short. Rebound to Anderson. To Thompson. Flips it over to Brunkhorst. 12 seconds. Anderson around his man all alone. Long one by Garrett at the buzzer. And we've come to the end of the first half of play. And the score, Marquette University 34, Southern Illinois 23. The scoreboard here at the intermission shows Marquette with 34 points and Southern Illinois with 23. A big three-point effort by George Thompson just at the close of the first half has given the Hilltoppers their biggest lead of the afternoon. They are on top by 11 points, and it's been a very, very well-played basketball game with Marquette having the better of it, obviously. Good defense at both ends of the court and some outstanding shooting outside by Marquette. We'll talk more about that in just a bit. It's halftime here at Madison Square Garden. It's been another great classic. Who were the teams, the stars, and how did it all happen? Well, here's Frank Gifford to take us on a tour of the 30th annual NIT.
And here it is, the world-famous Madison Square Garden. And a very famous alumnus of Marshall University. Soupy Sales cheering on his team against Villanova. Villanova now with the ball. Marshall was to go on and win this game, 70-68. But McIntosh dunks for Villanova. The basket you're about to see will be made by Bob Allen to send this game into overtime with a 64-64 tie. And after the overtime, it was Allen again who won it, hitting on 2 free throws to break a 68-68 tie. Soupy Sales was happy, and so were the Marshall fans. Marshall wasn't supposed to do too well in the NIT, and here they are working against Nebraska. The tiny little Marshall did awfully well. George Stone hitting from the outside for Marshall. They defeated Nebraska 119-88. And another look at George Stone. The turnaround, the jumper, the hit. Southern Illinois University brought their All-American Walt Frazier into this tournament as the nation's #1 small college team. And here they are in action against St. Peter's. Working against St. Peter's zone. Methodically moving the ball around, and Dick Garrett hits from the outside. St. Peter's outclassed in this game as Walt Frazier steals the ball. In for the layup. SIU 103, St. Peter's 58. And here's Duke University's Bob Verga, everyone's All-American. Duke University playing their 5th game in 5 nights. Came up against the SIU Salukis. Now Verga with the ball. Verga able to do most anything, the playmaker. Working against the Salukis' defense. Trying to pull them out. The play is set up. The ball will come back to Verga. And Verga with the jumper. Now working against the zone. This is something we talked about earlier. The shot will be missed from outside. But All-American Walt Frazier will be there for the rebound, something he's done consistently all year long, and particularly in this tournament. There it is, Frazier, underneath. As SIU defeated Duke 72-63. And here he is, Jimmy Walker, a great basketball player for the Providence Friars, as Providence went into action against Memphis State. And you're watching one of the all-time greats. Jimmy Walker, the fake shot, the jumper, and the swish. Providence defeating Memphis State 77-68. Memphis State stayed close in the first half, but in the second half, Jimmy Walker just got a little too hot. The Memphis State basket. And now in the second half, you'll see Walker explode. Walker wound up the day with 37 points in this game as Providence advanced against Memphis State 77-68 from outside. Another All-American, Mel Daniels of New Mexico. Mel Daniels now working against the Syracuse zone. It had New Mexico befuddled a little in the early going. There you see the block shot. And Syracuse will take it in for the score. New Mexico defeated Syracuse 66-64 in this contest, and here's one of the reasons why. Mel Daniels now on the outside of that Syracuse zone and hitting. Here's a look at Bob Lloyd, the nation's #1 free throw shooter. Rutgers wasn't expected to do too well in this tournament, and here they're in action against Utah State, a team they defeated 78-66. And it's Lloyd from the outside scoring. Lloyd again bringing it down against Utah State. Lloyd with the fake. And from the line, the jumper. Now it's Rutgers against New Mexico. Mel Daniels blocks that shot. The ball is back out to Lloyd. Rutgers defeated New Mexico 65-60 in this game. Mel Daniels missing that one. Lloyd again with the ball. And he'll drive underneath, but he has no place to put it. It's out to Jim Valvano, who hits from the outside. Rutgers defeating New Mexico 65-60. Here's Al McGuire, one of the most colorful coaches around. Brought his Marquette team into this final today. And here are the Marquette Warriors working against Tulsa, methodically passing the ball. They'll take it in. They'll bring it out. They'll take it across court, the free man, the 2 points. Jimmy Walker now working for Providence. And he hits. Providence now with the ball. It's missed. Marquette's fast break. Bob Wolf on the other end and in for the layup. Marquette defeated Providence 81-80. And there were 6 seconds left, and the score was 81-80, and Jimmy Walker had the final shot at it. Just missing. The game was over, and Marquette had moved on. And they'd moved on against tiny Marshall University, who had come all the way to the semifinals. Stone missing. Again, the fast break for Marquette, and Wolf hits. Wolf was all over the court that night. And here he is on the steal. Again, all the way. At the drive, Marquette defeating Marshall 83-78. Southern Illinois against Rutgers. In the other semifinal game, Jim Valvano that night hit for 9 out of 10 of his shots in the first half, and he hits from the outside there. SIU now working the ball. Frazier drives, he has it. SIU defeating Rutgers to move into today's final 79-70. Clarence Smith for SIU. And the final shot of the game, the long pass, Dick Garrett, who has scored 68 points coming into today's final, gets the last basket of the game. SIU 79, Rutgers 70, to set up today's meeting between Southern Illinois University and Marquette.
We're at halftime. The score is Marquette 34, Southern Illinois 23. And we'll be back to talk more about today's NIT game after this pause for station identification.
Be sure to see the Great One as chairman for the Raccoon.
Halftime at Madison Square Garden, the championship game. Marquette University 34, Southern Illinois University 23. It's been an exciting first half, a fine shooting one by Marquette. Frank Gifford has highlights of the first half of action. Frank?
And here you'll see the first basket of the game. SIU's Clarence Smith will get it. Breaking across the middle. There you see it. To get SIU off to a good start. Marquette went to a zone, and Dick Garrett now hits from the outside with the jumper for SIU. Here's an isolated shot of Walt Thompson. Brother George Thompson and his jumper, and can he get up in the air for 6-2 as he hits from the outside. And here's Walt Frazier, great All-American for the Salukis. That was Garrett, brother, hitting from the outside. And again, hitting from the outside there. And here in stop action, you see Frazier going up. See the action underneath. Marquette coming up with the rebound. Bob Wolf hitting. That made it 20-17 Marquette. There's George Thompson under the basket with a good pass.
All right, 34-23 Marquette at halftime. We'll be back with the second half of today's NIT game in just a moment. Another championship sports event, the CBS Golf Classic, immediately following the NIT today. Gene Littler and Phil Rogers against Tom Weiskopf and Mason Rudolph. And here's an example of what's in store for you on today's quarterfinal match. The two boys from San Diego, and this is the sweet-swinging Gene Littler, who's pretty adept on the putting greens as well as off the tee. The good stroke on a mile-long putt. Up to the hole. Will it go? Will it? Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, my. And in it falls. And a happy San Diego boy, Gene Littler, watches that one fall. Some of the outstanding action that you'll be seeing immediately following this NIT telecast. Tom Kelly with you, and Frank Gifford is with me, and we have the first half statistics. Frank, take a look. The Salukis are not shooting very well.
Yeah, Tom, I think one of the fine jobs being performed here today is Burke's job on Frazier. Not only is he watching him very closely, I think it's a bit disconcerting to have him eyeball to eyeball throughout that entire first half, and Burke is doing a great job on Frazier, the All-American for SIU.
Yes, Burke has done a great job, Frank, on this brilliant Frazier, though he has 11 points and leads his ball club. But it's been some brilliant outside shooting by Marquette. Give you an example. Burke has hit 3 out of 6, and Wolf has hit 5 out of 7, and 5 out of 7 is 70%. 3 out of 5 by Burke is 60%. Thompson's hit 3 out of 6 for 50%. Marquette is shooting 60%. And therein tells the story of the Warriors' lead of 34-23 as we start this second half of activity. This is Clarence Smith against Pat Smith. Clarence Smith of Southern Illinois in the white uniform, and Pat Smith of Marquette. Ball is thrown way up in the air, bobbled around, picked up by Frazier, back to the back dribble, goes underneath, poked away, it's out of bounds, it'll go to Southern Illinois. I told you Frank and I were talking earlier, Southern Illinois is a second-half ball club. Well, they've got an 11-point deficit to make up. Let's see how they operate here in the final 20 minutes. They're a good team, but Al McGuire has this Marquette club really fired up. He's done a great coaching job with this team. Whistle. Going to have a player control foul as Zastro, coming around off the high screen set by Johnson, ran right into the Marquette defender. Zastro, and there's Jack Hartman, coach of the Salukis, as he shouts out to his basketball team. So the Salukis didn't get a shot on the bucket to open up the second half. Here's Wolf. His outside shooting has been great. Rebound, Fraser. Good move by Clarence Smith and a foul on Pat Smith, and that is his fourth. And that does not help.
Marquette foul charged with Pat Smith.
Al McGuire pacing the sidelines across the way.
Clarence Smith to the line. 2 shots.
Urging the boys on. What a fiery competitor that man was. 5 points for Clarence Smith of Southern Illinois. 34-24. Marquette with a 10-point lead. They still have that. Thompson rebounds.
Marquette leads 34-24.
34-24. The ball goes out of bounds right to Al McGuire. Bob Wolf, his captain, fine shooting guard, brings it into Jim Burke. Wolf in the corner. Back out on top to Bronkhorst. Well, the Salukis are worrying him, aren't they? Lob across and under to Smith. Back out on top to Burke, and they'll set it up again. Screen. Wolf with the jump shot. 13 for Wolf. 36-24. A 12-point advantage now. 12-point advantage. Good move underneath Fraser. Did you see the beautiful pass? Beautiful pass.
Now it's Clarence Smith.
Smith gets the bucket, and Fraser, in as unselfish a move as you'll ever see, just gave the ball to the open man. It's the mark of a great basketball player, and Fraser certainly is that. Bad pass by Bronkhorst. Al McGuire stands up as the boys come by him, back on defense. Fraser fakes and draws the foul from Burke. His second.
Foul committed by Jim Burke.
And the second team foul against Marquette here in the second half. We have 18 minutes to play. It's a 10-point ball game. As Marquette leads, Fraser has 11 points. He's got 12. 36-27. Southern Illinois survived some of the greatest outside shooting I have ever seen as Jim Valvano of Rutgers and Bobby Lloyd put on a real first-half shooting display here Thursday night. Boy, look at him fight for that ball. Foul on Zastro. That's his second. Frank, they aren't taking any prisoners out there this afternoon.
All the marbles are right here, Tom, and they're certainly playing that way.
Boy, they hustle for that basketball. They really hustle for it. I mentioned Bob Lloyd of Rutgers. What a brilliant performance he put on in the consolation game. 44 points, hitting 17 of 30. Bobby Wolf has 14 points. 37-27. Again, Marquette by 10. In the corner to Garrett. 37-29. 8-point lead for the Warriors. George Thompson out on top to Burke. In case you've joined us late, we're in the second half. Championship game. Marquette in the blue and gold. If you're watching us in color, the dark uniforms on your black and white set. Salukis rebound. Zastro to Fraser. Corner to Smith. Back out to Zastro. Fraser. Back over to Garrett. He can shoot from there. I don't think he can. Baseline by Fraser. Tipped back out. Saved by Bronkhorst. Marquette working it around the outside and down the side, looking for the screen, look for the cutting man. Invariably, the Marquette guards, once they get rid of the ball, will cut underneath or go toward the basket. How about Bob Wolf? 16 points for Wolf. 10-point lead, 39-29 Marquette. Bobby Wolf, the team captain, showing us some fine outside shooting. Zastro fakes the drive. Very nice move. First bucket for Zastro, 39-31, Marquette leading. And the Warriors bring it up the floor. High post to Pat Smith. Poked away. Save. Garrett was right there, but couldn't get it from Wolf. Burke and Zastro playing patty fingers out there. Bronkhorst tries to set the pick. Boy, they're all over that Wolf, are they not? I think Frazier's going to draw one. That's his second. Marquette 39, Southern Illinois 31. We'll be back with more NIT action in just a moment. 39-31, Marquette University leading Southern Illinois University. Bob Wolf will be at the free throw line. He has 16 points. So far at the free throw line, he's hit 2 out of 2. He's made 7 of 10 from the field for 70%. Rebound in the corner to Smith of Southern Illinois, and Walt Frazier of the Salukis brings it into the front court. Ed Zastro's long left-hander. Now you see it, now you don't, as it falls through. 39-33. Zastro's got 4 here in the second half. Marquette led by 11 at the intermission. Salukis are fighting back. They have that kind of a ball club. George Thompson. Oh, that's... Look at them fight for that ball underneath. Out of bounds to Southern Illinois. That's the Saluki rooting section. You see the pretty young cheerleaders from Carbondale. There are probably 1,000 students and alums of Southern Illinois, the New York area, that are here this afternoon. This is predominantly a Marquette-oriented crowd. Of course, 3 New York boys on the Marquette team, and Al McGuire, a Marquette boy, their coach. Zastro over to Garrett. They look for Frazier underneath. Double team. Missing. Battle for the rebound. Pat Smith has it. Frazier steals it. Look at that turnaround. The ball won't go in the net for him. And a foul to be called, I believe. No, it's going out of bounds. No foul. Tipped away by Frazier. Out of bounds to Marquette. Bronkhorst. Good save, but up with the ball. The Salukis. Johnson. Move. He gave it a little heel and toe and threw in a knee to boot, didn't he, on the dribble? Look at the good pass. Under. Stolen by. What a play. And Thompson loses it. Under to Smith. Missing the crib shot, and a foul is called on Bronkhorst. Frank, the tension might be just a little bit more than the kids can take here. Boy, it's been hully-go.
Certainly with this packed garden, you can feel it. It's electric. Fighting for that ball, an NIT championship. SIU has won all of 3 of their appearances on the Garden. They've never been here before the NIT, and they want this title, as of course does Marquette. They've been in, this is their 3rd NIT appearance, of course, but they have never been able to take the championship.
Clarence Smith has 8 points, 39-34. The Marquette lead is down to 5. That's where it is. 39-34, Marquette leading. Salukis play that dangerous. See if we can steal it. Oh, what a lovely move by Burke. 41-33. 41-34. That's the score. 7 points. Marquette leading. High post. Johnson. Poked away. It's going out of bounds. He kicked it out. "13 minutes remaining in this ball game. 41-34, 7-point lead for Marquette. Whistle. Foul will be called on Zastro. Foul on Zastro. His third.
Foul charge to Ed Zastro.
His third. Fourth team foul against the
Jim Burke to the
Salukis.
line, 1 shot.
12:57 remaining in this ball game. And Burke has the free throw.
Saluki substitution.
That gives him 9 points. Bechtold comes in, and he'll put the ball in play for Southern Illinois, and Zastro goes out for the Salukis. Press is put on by Marquette. They'd like to steal the ball with it, but frankly, they don't put on a real good zone press. But it does give you something to think about, especially in a tension-packed game. Gives you just 45 more feet of court to worry about to protect the ball. Fraser and Smith, back to Fraser. Shot attempt is no good, but he was fouled, they say, by Wolf. And that's his third personal, and Fraser will go to the line for Southern Illinois.
Marquette foul committed by Bob Wolf.
Boy, that Wolf has shown us some shooting. He's hit 7 out of 10. The captain of the Marquette Warriors from Menominee Falls. And there's Walt Fraser. And that gives him 13 points for the afternoon. It is 41-35. 42-35. Marquette leading by 7. Brian Bronkhorst. Bad pass. Bad pass. We probably had, all told, about 6 turnovers in the game, which is small indeed for the importance and the pressure. Walt Fraser. 42-37. Marquette leads by 5. Biggest margin, 11 points. That was at the intermission. Southern Illinois has been noted as a second-half team. Well, they'll have their work cut out for them. Bob Wolf against Garrett. Jim Burke. Bob Wolf. Thompson. Blocked. Beautiful defense. Thompson tries again. A whistle, a foul on this one. No. 3-second violation in the lane. 3 seconds in the lane. The score is Marquette 42, Southern Illinois 37. And we'll be back with more NIT action in just a moment. That's a look. And his name is Bruce Heinrich, and he's from Chicago. They just put on a very fine little performance here for this capacity crowd. Southern Illinois trailing by 5. They've got the ball. Clarence Smith to Bechtold to Smith. Marquette still in the man-to-man. Roger Johnson. Short, follows, and gets it. If at first you don't succeed. 42-39. The Salukis are coming on. They trail by 3. 10 minutes. 50 seconds remaining. Boy, this crowd, a capacity gathering here at the Garden. 18,499. They came in screaming, and they haven't let up since. Burke against Bechtold, and back out on top to Bronkhorst. George Thompson, guarded by Clarence Smith. To Burke, high post to Pat Smith of Marquette, back out to Burke. As you watch Marquette operate out there, you'll see the New York influence of Coach Al McGuire. Men are cutting, breaking, busting across the lane. Always a lot of action away from the ball. There's Wolf going to get it. Swings around Garrett, but they pick him up on defense. Burke in the corner. Midway, high post to Smith. Crowd thought Smith should have shot, but Pat is not really a great shooter. And it's goal. Johnson picked it away. Garrett. Bechtold. Big 2 points. A big 2 points. Al McGuire wants to talk to his ball club. Marquette 42. Southern Illinois 41. We'll be back with more NIT action in just a moment. 42-41, Marquette leads by 1. Frank Gifford, the Salukis are putting a good deal of pressure on the two very fine guards that Al McGuire has, Burke and Wolf. They're really playing some good defense against them.
No question about it. Garrett and Frazier have certainly tightened up in the second half. Burke and Smith, they're just not getting the shots they got in the first half.
It was very much the same situation in the Southern Illinois Rutgers contest. Good move as he breaks up the middle, but Burke can't get in. Johnson cut him off. The Salukis have picked up their defensive tempo, yet they remain in the man-to-man defense as well they should against two real great outside shooters like this youngster Wolf and Burke. There's a good drive. Very good. Battle for that rebound. Thompson underneath. We've got a whistle and a foul, and Thompson went down hard. Foul is going to be called against Southern Illinois. And that's on Garrett, number 22, and that is his third. And that would be the fifth team foul against Southern Illinois. We've got 8:45 to play, and here's Thompson shooting a pair. He hasn't scored in the second half yet. George Thompson gets his 9th point. Those are two big ones. Two big ones. Puts the margin to 3 points. Marquette on top, 44-41. The Warriors have led ever since 11-9. Johnson. Little turnaround 8-footer. Al McGuire standing up across the way said, who had him? Who had him? Burke walks it into the front court. Bronkhorst. Burke. They're looking under for Smith and Johnson. Johnson is very strong underneath. There's Wolf. Tip comes to Garrett. Lead pass. Bechtold goes under. Southern Illinois has come back to go ahead 45-44 after being down by 11 points at the half. The Salukis, some 1,000 strong, are really up and rooting now. Boy, what a great finish to a great tournament. Burke sets. Rebound, Bronkhorst. Baseline, blocked by Garrett. Marquette substitution. Danny Anderson is coming into the ball game for Pat Smith. He'll operate out of the center spot, or they may put Thompson in there. Could float him in out of the corner. All right, Bob Wolf will inbound the ball. Wolf's a big, strong guard. He's a strong 6'3". And he can shoot. Rebound. Salukis are handling the defensive board very well now, and a foul on Thompson. That's only his first. And the 5th team foul against Marquette here in this, the second half. Southern Illinois with the lead. Al McGuire talks to Bob Wolf across the way.
Ralph Johnson at the line, 1 shot.
Johnson at the line has 2 points so far. 46-44, Southern Illinois by 2 with 7:10 to play. Burke screens for Wolf Whistle, no basket. Offensive foul, Burke.
Offensive foul charge to Jim Burke.
Ball out of bounds to Southern Illinois. Burke, in setting up that screen, just moved right into the Saluki defender. Very good call. Fraser, passing, tip to Smith, fake. Oh, he's got it. And a foul. Basket is good. We'll check the foul. I believe it's on Thompson, but we'll check. It is Thompson, his second. And suddenly the Salukis, not this attempt, but from here on out, will have the 1-and-1 bonus. Smith is only going to get one after making the basket, and he makes it. 49-44, and how the fortunes of this game have changed. Suddenly the Salukis are 5 points up. Look at them put on that tenacious defense. They swarm you. Bronkhorst, good drive. Foul is on Clarence Smith. 49-46. And Lady Luck turns the other way now to favor the Marquette Warriors for at least a brief moment. Brian Bronkhorst with a 2-pointer.
One shot.
And he's shooting a free throw. Rebound, Walt Frazier to Dick Garrett. Frazier. Oh, he's that sweet. That's a beautiful move, ladies and gentlemen. 51-46, again a 5-point lead for Southern Illinois. Very, very good defense by Bechtold, number 14. Lots of hustle. Marquette inbound. Bechtold steals it. And he's fouled as he steals it by Anderson.
Marquette foul charge to Dan Anderson.
Here's the score. Southern Illinois 51, Marquette 46. And now let's return to the studio for this message.
All join hands and sashay right. Won't somebody give these folks a light?
Frank Everett along with Tom Kelly. And tomorrow CBS will bring you more sports action when the CBS Sports Spectacular presents the World Gymnastic Championship from Dortmund, Germany. The world's top men and women gymnasts will compete in this event. And you'll also see motorcycle and boxing features. It'll be tomorrow on most of these CBS stations.
Roger Bechtold at the line, 1-and-1.
Southern Illinois leading 51-46, and Roger Bechtold is at the line to shoot the 1-and-1. 6 minutes remain in the game. The bonus shot is the most important one. Mighty important now. Marquette is just one foul away from having themselves in the bonus situation. 6 points in this half, 8 points for Bechtold. 53-46, 7-point lead, the biggest the Salukis have had. And remember, they trailed by 11 at the intermission. Steal by Clarence Smith. Pass, and Bechtold save it? He did. Now they'll set it up. Bechtold, baseline jumper. Fight for the ball. Salukis pick it up again. Johnson lobs it back out to Frazier. Long jumper by Garrett. Look out. points for Garrett. 55. Steal by Fraser. Look out for him. Marquette wants to take a timeout, and Southern Illinois has suddenly exploded. The score, the Salukis 57, Marquette 46. We'll be back with more NIT action in just a moment.
And Tom, I think the story here in the second half, Marquette has had 11 turnovers to SIU. In the first half, they had but 2.
A very interesting observation. As we noted earlier, it was almost a relatively free first half as far as turnovers. But this tenacious Southern Illinois defense has really come on strong. Fraser's attempt for the free throw, no good. Battle for the rebound, and up with it is Smith of SIU. The Salukis have been able to pick that ball off the floor. They've gotten the good tip, the good bounce. Into the ball game, number 21 for Marquette is Simmons. Pass, that's on the floor. Thompson scrambles for it. Going to have a jump ball, I believe. No, let's call it a foul, and it is on Johnson. Now that's the 7th against Southern Illinois, and so Marquette now goes to the 1-1 situation. It's been an outstanding second half by Fraser, who has picked up 19 points in the ball game. 8 of them here in the second half. Smith has picked up 7 in this half, and he has 11 now so far in the afternoon. Thompson's free throw. Wolf rebounds, falls with it, and he's tied up by Garrett. You know, Frank Gifford, knowing Jack Hartman and Al McGuire, it's a shame that one of them has to lose. 2 great coaches and 2 great guys. And how they've worked with these respective ball clubs. And it certainly is evident of the work that they've put in to see these 2 teams in action. Confident, poised. Kids just playing their hearts out there. Number 30 underneath, a beautiful pass. Johnson rebounds as Garrett has missed it. 59-46, a 13-point lead. That's the biggest of the afternoon. Simmons shot. Rebound under by Lucchini. Smith tries to slap at it and picks up a foul, his 4th. 4:13 is the time remaining. 59-46, Southern Illinois.
That's Brad Lucchini in the line, shooting 2.
Smith, at number 30 in the white uniform, I noticed in the Rutgers semifinal game Thursday night, suddenly he just exploded in the second half. He worked the boards over like never before. That's Lucchini.
Illinois, Chuck Benson, number 50, replaces Clarence Smith.
Smith coming out to a big hand.
Marquette, Brian
Bronkhorst is coming on, and Bobby Wolf is coming out for Marquette. Brad Lucchini at the free throw line has made 1. He's got another one coming. 59-47. Salukis lead. Lucchini is spelled Luchini. He said it's Lucchini. He told me that on St. Patrick's Day. Maybe he was kidding me. He's got the rebound as it bounces all the way back. Drives under. Tries to pass it back. You know, it was nearly tipped in. Fraser gives it to Garrett. Fires it across to the open man, Johnson. Foul is going to be called on Lucchini.
Marquette foul charge to Brad Lucchini.
At the free throw line is Ralph Johnson. There's Al McGuire. His assistant coach, Hank Raymond. Think that Al ever gives up? Never. He's here for the whole game. Boy. Some days they won't fall. 59-47. Thompson under. Oh, my. And Burke is really wrapped hard by Johnson. That's Johnson's 3rd foul. He's all right. Actually, he was more upset than Burke was. Clarence Smith coming back in for Southern Illinois. Johnson going out. 12-point lead. 3:51. There's Jack Hartman. 18 straight his ball club has won. For Burke, that is his 10th point of the afternoon. Wolf has 16. Jimmy's just a sophomore. 59-49, 10-point lead.
59-49.
Now Marquette puts on the pressure with the zone press, trying to force a turnover, get that ball. Bechtold in the backcourt, up to Garrett. Fires it down. Fraser walks with it. A moment of indecision.
Bob Wolf back in the Marquette lineup. Replaces Brad Lucchini.
Lucchini comes out.
Timeout.
Wolf is back in. Southern Illinois is taking a timeout. And with the score, Marquette 49, Southern Illinois 59. We've got 3:42 remaining to play. Watching this National Invitation Basketball Tournament, the oldest postseason basketball classic. It's one of the climactic events of the basketball year. Leads me to remember that CBS Television is going to be covering the World Series of Hockey. That, of course, is the Stanley Cup playoffs. The action and the coverage will start Saturday, April 8th. CBS to bring you a Stanley Cup playoff game every Saturday afternoon, live and in color, until a champion has been crowned. Boy, there has been some great play in the National Hockey League. Chicago Blackhawks winning the championship for the first time in 41 years. And what a resurgence hockey has had here in New York, with the New York Rangers doing a complete turnabout after a decade of more of just being also-rans and never-wases. What a great job the Rangers have done. 3:42. Time is most important. Southern Illinois leading by 10. Pick away a steal. Here come the Salukis. Marquette hustles back on defense as Fraser drives. 21 for Fraser. 61-49. Rebound. It's out of bounds. It's going to go to Marquette. Clarence Smith couldn't handle it. Here's Lucchini coming back in. And Simmons goes out for Marquette. 12-point lead underneath Thompson. Is that the biggest 6'1" guard you've ever seen? Was he right up there and just looked right down in the hole and put it there? 61-51. 10-point lead for Southern Illinois with 3 minutes to play. Look at the pressure on Garrett. Look at the pressure, period. Thompson's going to pick up a foul. His third. Bechtold will be at the line. The 1-and-1. Free throw shooting is got to be of prime importance for Southern Illinois now, because it's obvious that Marquette is playing catch-up. Southern Illinois is going to be playing keep away. And it does you little good to pick up the foul if you can't make the 1-and-1. See how Bechtold does. Well, he qualifies, doesn't he? He's had a good second half. 7 points. Very fine second half. He has 9 for the ball game. 63-51. Southern Illinois with a 12-point advantage again. Marquette's Burke drives. Beautiful move. Beautiful. 63-53. Presses on into Smith. He's up the floor with a pass to Fraser. Underneath. All alone, Benton. 65-55. Benson with a dunker. Lucchini. Rebound. Fraser comes out of the pack with a whistle. Check it. Zastro's coming in. Bechtold is getting a rest. We're going to the other end. It'll be a Southern Illinois free throw.
Marquette foul charge to Brian Brunkhorst.
Brunkhorst picked up the foul. That's his third.
He's replaced by Blanton Simmons.
Blanton Simmons comes in for
Frazier in the
Brunkhorst.
1-and-1.
Frazier to shoot the 1-and-1. He's got 21 points. Rebound is off to Thompson. Clears it up the floor to Bob Wolf. A steal? Stealing the ball, yes, but they went over the end line with it. Zastro couldn't hang on to it. It's out of bounds to Marquette. Burke, 2:22 to play. Simmons, long jumper. Rebound all the way back out to Burke. Passing under. Simmons. Hooking. Rebound. Back to Wolf. Another try. And this time, Fraser gets it. Tries to pass. Gets it back. Does pass. 3-on-1. Garrett. Shot attempt blocked. Rebound. Smith. Whistle. Make it Benson on the rebound, and we've got a jump ball. Benson and Thompson. Minute 59. If the Salukis can protect a 12-point lead at 65-53. Tip to Smith. Good pass underneath. Garrett shot. Blocked. The follow-up is in. 14 points for the Salukis. They've got the lead now with a minute 47 and may have it wrapped up. What a sweet victory it'll be for Jack Hartman. For 2 years, his team went to the finals of the small college NCAA and lost it. Oh, Burke hasn't quit. Burke hasn't quit. 67-55, 12 points. Fraser, long pass to Garrett. Minute 23. Now back to Fraser. Garrett again in the corner. Now Zastro. Watch him handle that ball. Watch him handle it. Underneath to Garrett. Beautiful. Foul on the play against Lucchini.
Foul on the play by Brad Lucchini.
Could be a three-pointer. And just about put it out of reach now. 69-55. Into the ball game for Marquette. Number 30 is Mike Curran. George Thompson comes out. Listen to the hands for this fine performance. Garrett shooting one. George Thompson, ladies and gentlemen, played with a foot so sore you could hardly walk on it. That's the mark of a great performer. You've got to love the game, and you've got to be a real good ball player to want to play when you're hurt. But he did. Turnover by Marquette. They had 11 of them in the first 10 minutes here of the second half. Foul is called against Burke. And we're liable to see quite a parade now to the free throw line in the final minute of play. And now Jack Hartman, Southern Illinois coach, gives evidence of clearing his bench. There goes Garrett going out as Willie Griffin comes in. Garrett scored 10. He goes to the bench. He's just a sophomore from Centralia. Jack Hartman looking for more to send in. Smith gets the free throw. 12 points for Smith. Langenkamp, number 54, is in, replacing Jimmy Burke. Burke had 15. Had a brilliant ball game. Whitaker comes in, and Benson goes out. So we'll total him for you at 6 points for the afternoon. All right, we're set now, 70-55. Southern Illinois. 71-55, a 16-point lead. That's the biggest. And with 58 seconds to play, they've won the NIT. Simmons for Marquette. Warriors rebound, but a high lob pass grabbed off by Wolf, and he's fouled. And the foul's going to be called against number 44, and that for Southern Illinois is Westcott. Greg Taylor comes in for Smith. Smith had 13 points and got 11 of them in the second half. Fouls on Westcott. 1-1 for Wolf. That's 17 for Bob Wolf. I'd remind you, we're going to have the winning coach and the most valuable player on after this contest. Rebound by Walt Frazier. 71-56. Southern Illinois leading. 37 seconds to play. Number 12 is Whitaker. We certainly want to thank all of the Garden officials, all of the people connected with the management and the handling of the National Invitation Basketball Tournament. Long jumper by Whitaker. Their aid and assistance has been invaluable to Frank Gifford and myself and to our CBS crew. Walt Frazier's going out, and listen to this hand.
Tom, when he got on track, he was something else out here today.
Spectators are cautioned to remain.
They're a strange team, Frank Gifford. They've proved their greatness by beating some of the great, big, fine basketball teams in the nation. But they seem to just kind of go through the motions that first half. Rebound off to Jim Langenkamp of Marquette. Up the floor to Curran. There's the final buzzer. And we've come to the end of the championship game. And the final score, ladies and gentlemen, Southern Illinois 71 and Marquette University 56. Well, Frank Gifford, those are the Salukis, and that's their coach, Jack Hartman. The man with the glasses. We'll have him over here in just a bit. And that's Smith and Fraser being congratulated by their teammates and their coach.
And here he comes now, Tom. And certainly, what a great triumph here today. The first time SIU has ever appeared in Madison Square Garden.
Congratulations, Coach Jack Hartman.
Congratulations, Jack. That's a victory. Jack, I'd just like to ask you, what in the world happened in the second half? You were down by 11, you came back, and you ran away with it.
Well, I was extremely proud, Frank, of the fact that our kids didn't lose their poise and they didn't quit. We knew we were in trouble, but we talked about the fact that during halftime that we just hadn't played a great deal in the first half. We weren't turning the ball over on offense, and we didn't have our defense up applying any pressure. I thought probably our defensive pressure in the second half was probably the most important thing.
Coach, if I may interrupt for a moment, glance up a little bit and let all of your friends...
You know I thought about it, Tom. In fact, we talked about it quite a bit. I think the past 2 years we lost in the finals of the NCAA College Division Tournament, and in both cases our kids were too cautious. They wanted to win too badly, and they weren't free and weren't easy. We didn't do anything differently this year, but I think they thought about it a great deal, and I'm extremely proud of them. Of course, I thought they did a great job.
Yes, they did that. I'd just like to ask you about your boy Walt Frazier. Certainly, he is one of the outstanding players we've seen in this tournament throughout the run of it, and he had a fantastic second half. He's a great ball player, Jack.
Well, Frank, Walt's what we call a complete ball player. He does everything. He does a great job defensively. A great rebounder, tremendous rebounder, and of course he's got all the moves and skills offensively.
Jack, 23 years ago, playing for Mr. Iva at Oklahoma A&M, you came to this tournament, ended up a loser in the semifinals. Been a long 23 years in between, Coach, but you must be an extremely proud man to come back a winner here today.
Well, very much so, Tom. Did you have to mention those 23 years? It was a real thrill then, and it's a real thrill today.
I might add, Coach Jack Hartman, that you have the stamp of Mr. Iva on your ball club. Poise, coolness, well-disciplined team. You set up your offense. You play your game. You play that good, tenacious defense. You work for the good shot. And you've got some fine basketball players.
Tom, thank you very much, and that's one of the nicest things I've had said to me.
Jack, congratulations to you again, but a proud day it must be for you, Southern Illinois, your ball club, and Carbondale. And we're going to take a look at some of the highlights of this outstanding win for you as the Salukis pick up their first national invitation tournament championship.
Wolf hitting from the outside, Tom. Dick Garrett hitting from the corner.
We knew that Wolf was a real fine outside shooter, and during the first half we just weren't getting up on him, and there he is right there going up with a shot. And he can hit that shot, and we knew it. We just weren't up there going over the pick well enough.
And that was Wolf again in stop action hitting from the outside.
Coach, let me tell you, you have seen some good shooting guards against you in the last
Yes, we have. We've seen some great guards. That was a big bucket for us right here. Ralph took the jumper outside and followed the ball and got the rebound shot, and it was a real good bucket.
Good coaching when you can get that boy to go to that board and follow that shot.
They're one of those takeovers that made a major difference for you in the second half, Jack.
Well, I think our defense got up and applied more pressure, and I think this was the big key to our winning the ball game. No question about it. There's Roger Bechtel there on a fast break bucket. That was a very important bucket for us.
I thought that your second half effort here today, Jack, was very similar to your win over Rutgers. You kept fighting to come from behind, and while you had two great guards against you in that Rutgers game, as you did today, you came back and put extreme pressure on them and minimized their efforts in the second half.
Well, Tom, throughout the season, our kids have been in trouble on several occasions, and each instance they were able to come back and do a real good job of staying in the ball game. Of course, this is a mark of a good ball player.
It certainly is. You'll be happy to have that Garrett back next year, won't you, Coach?
Absolutely, absolutely. He's a fine shooter.
How about Walt Frazier?
Walt's a great one. He's got another year of eligibility, and he's a real fine boy.
I'd just like to say, Tom, they've just announced that your boy Walt Frazier is the tournament's most valuable player, and I'm sure you're proud of that, Jack.
That's a real thrill and a real honor for Walt, and I think he's very deserving.
Jack, you made it game, set, and match with this one. Now you're going home with the 2 big trophies.
Well, we're very happy, Tom. We were very proud to have gotten an invitation, and we were tickled to death that we were able to come in here and play well.
Jack, you're the #1 small college basketball team in the nation, and yet Southern Illinois is not a small school. Some 25,000 youngsters, ranks among the top 20 universities in the school. It has grown by leaps and bounds, and actually it is the biggest thing in Southern Illinois. Are you going or thinking of going into the university division play?
This is something the administration will have to decide, of course, Tom, and actually I have no comment on it this time.
Jack, I have your boy Walt Frazier, and I'm sure you're proud of the performance he had here today.
Well, of course, I know he's very proud, but not as proud as I am of him. He's done a great job for us all year. He's given us great leadership when we needed it, and he's given us some big plays so many times that I couldn't recall them.
Well, I know, Walt, sometimes coaches have those little secrets at halftime, but what was the conversation amongst you and the rest of your teammates at halftime? You came out here fired up and took this ball game and put it right out of reach for Marquette.
We were a little slow on our reflexes, you know. We were playing a little too cautious, and he just told us to go at it like we have been doing all season. And it paid off, and the guys really went after it. I think Marquette was a little fired up in the first half, and they controlled the game, you know. So the second half, we controlled it pretty good.
And I suppose you know from experience during the season, you've come back to win so many in the second half. I'm sure you felt that you could do it here in the second half against Marquette.
I didn't think we were out of it at all. We have been down by more than this at halftime on some pretty good teams, you know. A heck of a win for us.
Well, once again, Frank, excuse me, I've got to step in to congratulate you, Walt, again on a great tournament and the MVP award. Jack Hartman, congratulations. The best to you and the Salukis. Have a good trip home.
Thank you very kindly, Tom.
Walt ended up with 21 points. The Salukis win it, 71-56 for Frank Gifford. Thank you, Frank, very much. What a pleasure to work with you. A capacity crowd here at the Garden for the championship game of the NIT. And now this is Tom Kelly thanking you for being with us. And from New York City to you all, a very pleasant good afternoon.
The 1967 National Invitational Tournament has been brought to you by the Rain Tire, made exclusively by Uniroyal, and by John Hancock Mutual Life Insurance Company, and by Winston. Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should. And by Original Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer, brewed by the first of the great Milwaukee brewers. The National Invitational Tournament has been produced by CBS Television Sports.